Hey y'all, Cecile here, and I am so glad to see you. I'm going to talk for a few minutes and give y'all a chance to show up. And for those of you watching on the replay, so glad that you're here. Let me see, I got to start my music. There you go. Now, y'all told y'all before, I don't have too many choices, but go ahead and dance with me for a second. Move your body. And while you're moving your body, start thinking about your peaches and your pits. You can go ahead and start leaving me some comments. Let me know what was your peach for the week, something that made you feel good. And you can go ahead and leave a pit, something that kind of pissed you off, something that didn't go your way. And while you're thinking about it, make sure you move your body. Make sure you breathe. Hey, I don't know who you are, Facebook user. Leave your name so I can see who you are. Happy to have you. Ooh. All right. All right, that didn't go the way I wanted. I was trying to ease that music down so it didn't just stop all of a sudden, but it didn't quite work. All right. So, whether you're watching live or on the replay, I am so glad that you're here. My name is Cecile Armstrong. Whew. Hey, Tiffany. All right, my name is Cecile Armstrong. I am a social justice and self care facilitator. If you are watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, make sure that you hit that follow button, make sure that you hit like, make sure you subscribe, and I am inviting you to join Meditations for Persistence. We are a Facebook group. Oh, hey, Susan, how are you? So we are a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and I'm inviting you to join us because not only do we do these lives on Sunday nights, we also talk about all kinds of things because we are a political group, we are a self-care group, because us being spiritual and business people and caring for ourselves and coming together in community and taking care of ourselves individually, we're all of that. And so in this group, Meditations for Persistence, we talk about everything. And we really focus on politics and how to create equity. Um, hey, Manisha, how are you? Glad to have you. And so, for those of you who don't know, this group started back in 2016, right after the presidential election. I was feeling kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do because marching and going to see my representatives was leaving me feeling drained instead of pumped up and excited. And I saw so many other people who were feeling the same way. And then as I'm following all these people on social media, somebody posted that they were feeling so helpless and so disillusioned and so scared that they were actually contemplating suicide. And that was my sign that it was time for me to do something different. I didn't want it to be my sign. I will be honest. I did not want it to be my sign, but it was. And so I created this group, Meditations for Persistence, and several hundred people joined me. And we started doing live meditations on Sunday nights as a way to help us get in our bodies and get grounded and get centered and come together and talk about ways that we could make a difference in our communities so that we could start the week grounded and have a good idea of what we wanted to accomplish. And then we could come back together the next Sunday night and celebrate. So again, if you're watching live, go ahead and post your peaches and your pits for the past week. Something really good that made you feel really good, made you happy, and something that maybe pissed you off or, got you stuck in a rut. Post your peaches and your pits. And I am so, so excited about tonight. One, because I am exhausted. I just moved, y'all. I just moved across the state. Haven't even unpacked yet. And so I'm tired, but I'm not going to have to hold the space. I don't know if you remember me telling you that I was going to be bringing on some some of my friends and colleagues who are great at meditation and great at holding space and who have skills that I don't have. And So tonight, Dr. Cynthia Phelps is going to be leading our meditation, and she's going to be talking about self-soothing, and I am so excited for that. And I just want to point out that this right here, this me having people on is me walking my talk because I knew I couldn't come and lead this group the way I did before because it took too much. And so I have a network and I'm sharing the space. And so we're all coming together. Um, so I don't see any peaches or pits right now. So I am going to bring Dr. Phelps on and we're going to chat for a bit and then I'm going to turn it over to her to actually lead the meditation. Dr. Phelps is an international speaker, certified mindfulness instructor, and the founder of InnerAlly, a company that builds evidence based tools to improve mental wellness. She has extensive experience in learning and behavior change and has been developing mental health technologies such as online courses and mobile apps since 2009. Her background as a researcher in neuroscience helps her create effective programs and products that not only improve mental health, but also soothe the soul. And so, welcome, Cynthia. I'm so glad to have you.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, Cecile. Thank you for inviting me.
I am so glad that when you said yes, you were willing to, be one of the meditators in this group. I was so excited. I only invited people. I mean, y'all know. I mean, the people who are in my group, y'all already know. I only invite people to do this kind of stuff if I love them and I know they know their shit. And Cynthia knows her shit. So, so, um, before we turn it over, we usually talk politics for a minute. And so there's been so much stuff that has happened. All right, somebody that's Tiffany. Her pit is Ohio. Yeah, totally got it. I saw that article about the 10-year-old girl who needed abortion services and was denied in Ohio and had to cross state lines, I think, to Indiana to get what she needed. Um, yeah, that's definitely a pit. That is definitely a pit. 10 years old, your body is not equipped to handle a pregnancy, and you're not old enough to consent to anything, anything that would get you pregnant. You're not old enough to consent, and your body is not biologically able to handle it. And yet, it's against the law for her to get the services that she needs. Whew.
The healthcare services she needs.
Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, what else is going on? I mean, that's plenty. But what else is going on? I saw that the governor in the state that I'm in Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, is looking at a presidential run for 2024. Yeah, hoping he doesn't have a chance. I saw something cool today that Gavin Newsom, the governor in California, is running ads in Florida talking about all the damage that DeSantis is doing to free speech and basic rights. That was kind of cool. You don't generally see Democrats going on the offensive and talking about what somebody else is doing wrong and then inviting people into their space at the end. He was like, come on over to California. Yeah. Yeah. That was nice, Tiffany. I was happy to see it. All
Well, I
right.
was pretty depressed this morning to wake up to the
Mm.
news of the shooting of Jalen Walker. That was
Yeah.
super, like, just, it just seems so unnecessary, you
It
know?
is unnecessary. It is unnecessary.
And over the top. Right? Like, I don't
Mhm.
know. And then people arguing with me that, like, I shouldn't be upset about it. I'm just like, "Oh, no."
What? Somebody said you shouldn't be upset
Oh,
about
you
it?
don't wanna you need to look at my Facebook page. I've been
Okay.
fighting all day.
Yeah, see, I don't even entertain people who try to say, that who try to anyway justify or say that, it's not something I don't even I used to. used to have conversations with people that would say that, but now I'm just like, whatever, mute,
Mm,
block, whatever. Just like, if you can't see it after all the discussion that people have been having for the last couple of years, I don't really have anything to say to you. I'm talking to people who are willing to listen, not people who want to argue just for arguing's sake. And
yeah.
if you
Well,
can't see somebody else's humanity, I don't know what else to say to you.
I feel like I have a little bit of responsibility because these are like white people on my
Yes,
page, right?
right.
And so I left all the comments up, it just to be like, okay, this
Yeah,
is
Tiffany says wisdom about you you feeling like you have some responsibility.
oh wow, yeah. And yeah, the just the things that were coming out of this person's mouth onto the
Mhm,
internet were like textbook, things that racists say to defend
mhm,
themselves. Like I'm like,
mhm.
like maybe I need to do a top 10 ways to be a racist.
You know,
And then be like,
you
hey, so here, this is like, we're not going to be good friends if this is how you roll.
well, Michael Harriot, at The Root, he actually has an article that's the top 10 things that not racists say. So maybe you could find his article and just like share that. You can post it and be like, look, this is you.
I was like, it was kind of amazing to me because he even pulled a Native American card, and this guy's like, so
What?
presents as white. It was
Okay.
like, well, why aren't you like defending indigenous people's rights? And I was like, that's not what this post is
I was
about.
gonna say, that's not even what you were talking about. Whew. Oh my goodness. All right, so I know other people are seeing all the same stuff and have their own things going on in their lives. Like I just said, I just moved. There's a bunch of stuff going on personally, politically, in your community, across the nation, around the world. I don't know. Was it Denmark that just had a shooting? Was it Denmark? It was I want to say it was Denmark, but I could be wrong on that. They just had a guy walking around in a mall. I saw a video, of a guy walking around in a mall with a shotgun, and he shot and killed some people. And so, there's things going on all around the world. And so that's why when you suggested leading the meditation tonight and teaching people self-soothing, I was like, I could use some of that because I know what I do. I rock. When I get stressed, I start rocking. That's one thing that I do. And so I'm sure you have some other things that you're going to show us tonight, and I am so excited to learn.
Oh, that's great. No, that's a really excellent technique. And I think that
Oh,
it's important that whatever
it's
works for you,
mm,
right? And so, you can pick and choose from some of the things I'm going to show to kind of create your own self-soothing strategies that you can
mm.
use
Okay. Thanks,
wherever.
Susan, for correcting me about the location. I was saying Denmark. She was saying it's Copenhagen. Isn't that in Denmark? All right. Yeah. Thanks, Susan. Yes. So you're going to do several things so we can pick and choose and create our own. I'm excited
Yeah,
about that. I am so excited about that. All right, I am going to turn it over to you. And let me just tell everybody right now that I am sending you fierce love because I'm going to let Cynthia close it out however she wants. And so I am sending you guys fierce love as always. And thank you for watching. And I'm so excited to see what you've got, Cynthia. I'm ready to get relaxed. All
good.
right.
Well, I'm glad to be here, everyone. And just a little about me and why I'm in a space like this as a white woman. Uh, you know, through the Black Lives Matter movement, I really realized that there were several places in which I was very ignorant about how to move about in the world as a white person without damaging other people, with what I say and what I do. And, the process of kind of learning more and more has been one that has been challenging emotionally. And, um, there's just so much kind of suffering in this space. One of the things that I did was I started working with a woman out of San Antonio who is a Mexican American, and she really helped me a lot. And we did some events together. And so I'm basically a newbie when it comes to racial activism and social activism, quite honestly, if I'm going to be honest. Just been kind of doing some of this stuff for the last few years. But what I really feel like I can bring to the table are some of the skills that I know about how we treat ourselves so that we can refill our cups and so that we can energize our batteries so that we can have a sustained level of energy to do this work, because this work is incredibly draining. And that's not even mentioning like the trauma that people feel when their marginalized group is the one that's being traumatized over and over again. And so these tools of self-soothing is one of the things that I want to bring to people who are in the activist space, because I want you to be able to care for yourself uh, and be on for the long term, because there's so much to do, right? So that's kind of like my lane. I'm bringing my expertise in self-compassion and how to create a nurturing relationship with yourself, so that you can do this work. So self-soothing is something that's really important. And so already Cecile mentioned that she does rocking. And so, self-soothing is really a combination of being kind to yourself within your own head, but also embodied practices, right? So rocking is an embodied practice. And I wanted to teach you just a few self-soothing techniques that are called soothing touch. And so this comes out of the curriculum Mindful Self-Compassion, which is developed by Dr. Kristen Neff out of Austin, Texas, and Chris Germer, who is a licensed psychologist. And they together built this fabulous curriculum to help people be kinder to themselves. And so self-soothing is a very self-compassionate act. And the touches are a part of it. It's part of the embodied part, right? And so one of the self-soothing touches is to just put a hand over your heart. And so, you guys can do this with me. Hopefully you're in a room where you can be doing it and not feeling strange. When I put my hand over my heart, I really take this part of my hand and I'm really putting it on my sternum. And I'm actually applying a little bit of pressure, and I often take this other hand and apply it over the top. And just this pressure on your sternum actually helps your body to release oxytocin, which is, you might have heard it called the love hormone. And so this is what mothers release when they're breastfeeding, and the babies feel bonding to their mother. It's like the sound of oxytocin is like, oh, if it had a sound. And so this one is a really powerful one, but you may not be into putting your hand on your heart, because every body is different, and different doesn't mean bad. Different just means different, right? And so one of the soothing touches that I kind of like is a hand to my forehead, particularly when I'm feeling really distressed. One of the things that, I had a mother who, if I was sick, she would take my temperature by putting her hand on my head. And so it reminds me about being cared for, somebody being concerned about my welfare. Another type of soothing touch you can do is kind of the rub. And so if you notice like how I'm doing this, I'm not going like this. No, I'm not going like this. right? It's just you'll notice too, like we do this to, kitties, and we do this to children, and we do this to our lover. This is an innate human touch that's comforting and soothing. And so we as humans actually have little receptors on our skin called C fibers that are directly connected to the amygdala, which is our emotional center of the brain. And it really helps to calm us down. And so we're wired for this. And so you can take advantage of that. And so some people like to do petting of their arms. I like to sometimes do it on my thighs. Like you can kind of get away with that even if you're like on a Zoom call, because you can't see me right now. I'm petting my thighs. But at that same speed, right? At that same level of pressure. And so these are some soothing touches that you might want to use during your day if you're feeling stressed out. Another one that I love if you're in a meeting and just need a little bit of soothing is the face cradle. So I sometimes put my face on my hands and just listen to whoever is talking on Zoom. But this can be a very comforting touch for people as well. And so I just encourage you to try some of these touches, the pressure and the stroking, just to see what works for you. And sometimes, because this isn't really taught in our society as something that you're allowed to do, sometimes it takes like getting over yourself a little bit to be able to kind of drop into your body and really feel what's working for you. But one of the things that I know works really well for me, and they actually use it in the military, is the pressure on your sternum, like I showed you before, and then you just take 3 deep breaths. But there is a trick to the breath in that when you breathe in, you want to breathe out longer than what you're breathing in. And so this sends a signal to another part of your nervous system, which is the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system are at work in conjunction. And so sympathetic like wakes you up in the morning and gets you going, and parasympathetic calms you down. And so when your out breath is longer than your in breath, what you're doing is you're activating that parasympathetic nervous system. And so not only is it just a breathing technique, but it's hooked to your nervous system to be able to soothe you and to calm you down. And so I like to do 3 deep breaths. And so let's just do 3 together. And breathing in and out. And breathing in one more time. And as you're breathing out, I want you to just lower your shoulders a little bit. And one more time in, and as you're breathing out, I want you to just release any tension. So just doing those 3 breaths, I don't know if you noticed, but like my voice drops like an octave. It calms me down. And you can use this tool to self-soothe as well. So let's get on to a little bit of a guided meditation. And the way that I do meditations is very self-compassionate. So the goal of the meditation is for you to take the best care of yourself possible. So you showed up tonight and you could be anywhere else, but you're here. And so let's use that to really be kind and supportive of yourself. And so that means if anything in the meditation isn't working for you, no problem. Open your eyes, go get a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, whatever it is that you need, I want you to give it to yourself, because that means that you're practicing the highest level of self-compassion. And that is what this is all about. Not only self-soothing, but listening to yourself, listening to your body about what it needs. And so, oftentimes when we're in class and we have this idea that we need to do things right, but this is different than that. Here, the highest outcome is if you take care of yourself. And so, with that, you can go ahead and just drop into your body. You can sit in any position that you want. If you even want to lay down for this, that is perfectly fine. And I like to close my eyes for meditation, but you could also just cast your eyes downward if that feels better for you. And this is here to serve you. And so, if you would just starting now to take a deep breath in with me, letting it out. We're just going to take our attention away from the world, away from the pits and even the peaches, away from daily life, and just bringing our attention to our bodies. Allowing yourself to choose a spot in your body that you want to focus your attention on, whatever works for you. Some people like the breath. Some people feel constricted by the breath. And if that's the case, you might pick a part of your body that feels pretty good, like maybe your left pinky finger. Allowing yourself just to settle in and dropping your attention on that spot in your body. Now, allowing your breath just to be the way that it is, but just noticing it. No need to change. Knowing that through all the ups and downs and through all the minutes of the day, your breath is with you. And I want you now to just visualize when you're taking a breath in that you're just breathing in some soothing and compassionate energy for yourself. And just relaxing on the out breath. Breathing in soothing energy for yourself and relaxing on the out breath. Imagining now that your breath is on a wave in the ocean and going up the wave as you're breathing in soothing energy for yourself and down the gentle slope of the wave as you exhale. smooth rolling waves. In with soothing compassion on the in-breath and relaxing on the out. Perhaps leaning into the rolling wave, perhaps feeling your body rocking with the wave. Allowing yourself to just roll with your breath, in with soothing energy and releasing the tension. Spending just a few more minutes here. And if your mind is drifting away, that's okay. That's what minds do. You can just gently bring it back to the sound of my words, just like you would take a small child by the hand. Come here, darling. Back to the in-breath, breathing in comfort and support and soothing energy. And breathing out and releasing. And now we're going to just give some gratitude for those waves as we turn our attention back into our body, back to the present moment, being in our bodies. I want you to just move your attention around your body until you find a place that maybe has a little bit of tension, or maybe it has a place of pain or a place of stress. Allowing yourself now just to take a hand and place it over that area on your body. Feeling the soothing touch of your own hand, the warmth from your own palm. Allowing yourself to just give this spot in your body a little bit of soothing, a little bit of love. We don't have to earn soothing as humans. It's our right. We don't soothe ourselves just to make the pain go away. We can soothe ourselves because we're human and the pain causes suffering. And all humans deserve to be free from suffering. Allowing yourself now to just Notice if any other parts of your body want to have a hand on them. Just a nice, soothing touch, like you would touch a lover or like you'd pet a kitty. Taking the time to just really feel what that feels like, that hand, that soothing hand on you. And if your mind is beginning to wander away, that's very common. Having little aches or pains or stresses in our body make us want to get away. And so resistance is very normal. Allowing yourself just to be ever so gentle with yourself as we just release the focus on our bodies. We're going to just do one final thing together. And that is, we're going to create a space in our minds that is soothing and delightful, whatever that means for you. And so I want you to imagine that you're creating a large bubble. It's big enough for you to step inside and move around. And as you step in, it closes up behind you. But inside, you realize that you can leave anytime you want. But only the things that you want to come in can come in. Allowing yourself now just to think about what it is you want to bring in to this space. What is it you want to help soothe yourself, to create a wonderful and supportive space inside this bubble? Maybe you're ready to interior decorate. Maybe you've already invited your dog. Just allowing yourself to play for a moment. What are you bringing in? The safe space that supports you. I think I'm going to bring in a lounge chair so I can sit in comfort with a fuzzy blanket. Just allow yourself to play. Are there flowers in your bubble? Are you bringing in a loved one? Perhaps even there's a scene in your bubble, like an ocean and waves, or a river, or a beautiful sand dune or mountain. And if you begin to think thoughts, what am I doing today? What do I have on my task list tomorrow? That's fine. You can just take those thoughts and boop, put them outside the bubble. allowing yourself now, just for the last few minutes, to feel supported by this space you've created inside your bubble. Allowing yourself to make any changes that are needed so that you're feeling fully supported and calm. And now I want you, together with me, to just step outside your bubble again. And whoop, it just closed behind you. So now we can turn and look at that environment we just created with the understanding that this place to soothe and calm ourselves is available to us in our minds at any time. With it, we have created the wisdom of what we really need in the moment. And we have the power to create that for ourselves at any time. And now I want us to just take a moment as we're soothing ourselves to imagine that on the in-breath, we're bringing in soothing and compassionate energy for ourselves. But this time on the out-breath, I want you to send it to everyone who's listening. Breathing in, soothing, calm for ourselves. And out for everyone who can hear this right now. And breathing in, soothing for ourselves. And breathing out some calm and soothing energy for everyone in our neighborhoods. And breathing in and recharging ourselves with soothing energy. And as we breathe out, I want you just to picture your breath going around the world, putting a soothing layer over the world. And one more time. Now, just for ourselves, breathing in soothing and calming energy, compassion and love for ourselves, and breathing out. And now I want you to just begin to notice that you're sitting in a room. Maybe you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes a little bit. Or maybe even you want to roll your neck. Oh, that feels pretty good. Just welcoming your body back, letting it move however you like. Thank you so much for joining me in that little meditation. And I hope that you can use some of these tools for yourself. We did a few different things. We got to learn about some compassionate touches that activates our nervous system to be able to calm ourselves down. We got to ride and rock on some waves of soothing and compassion. And we got to use our breath to breathe in soothing energy and to even send it out to others. And welcome to my bubble. I love using the bubble because it's something that we can visualize for ourselves at any time. Because sometimes we really just can't get away. But the bubble is always open to us. My trick is if I'm really overwhelmed, no matter where I am, I'll just go to the bathroom. I will open my bubble. I'm no longer in a bathroom stall. I am inside of my bubble, and I am giving myself the support that I need, the soothing that I need. Oh, look, hi. Oh, so great you're here. Good to see you. Um, if you want to ask any questions, I would be delighted to answer them. Or if you want to share anything about your experience in the chat, please do that. Usually, when I teach meditation, we get a chance to kind of have some conversations afterwards. And so, um, one thing that's good. Thank you, Cecile. One thing that I like to talk about after every meditation is not every time that you do meditation, you're going to get like a desired outcome. Sometimes you're going to sit down to calm yourself and it will feel like it's not working for you, or difficult thoughts will come up. And I just wanted you to know that this is normal, and that using these practices, it's not like problem, practices, fix it, we're all good, right? It's not a simple equation like that. It's more like problems, practices, better outcomes. And so the more that you can take some of these tools and incorporate them into your daily life, then the better you're going to be able to regulate your emotions and to be able to calm yourself on a regular basis. But it's not like a break fix type of a thing necessarily. So if you're not getting like the perfect calming outcome after you do some of these tools or after you do some of these visualizations for yourself, don't worry. It's not a fail, it's a practice. Just like going to the gym, right? Like some days you go to the gym and you're just like, I crushed it. And then like some days you're just like, I made it barely. So it's okay for you to have both of those outcomes. And if we keep going to the gym, we're going to hit where we want to go with our fitness goals, right? And if we keep using tools to bring ourselves calming, compassionate, soothing energy, then we're going to be able to fill our cups so that we can be more active in the world and making the changes that we really want to see. So, Cecile, I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate it, because you showing up means that you're here to take care of yourself and you're here to do good work. And we really need you. We need you happy and healthy. And so thank you so much for being here.